Hey guys, it's Tara Wilson coming to you with a reshoot of episode 4 of Lunch and Learn, which is building your business around a busy schedule. We had numerous technical difficulties, including my internet going out, my camera being backwards for a few minutes. So I thought I would just take a few minutes and reshoot this. So today's topic is, the one objection I think I get the most is I don't have time. And for those of you guys who know my story, the brief recap is when I got involved in the industry in March of 2007, I had 2 small children and was working 40 hours a week and did not think I had time to do anything, let alone build a business. So some people taught me it's more about what you do consistently. I made some decisions to work my business consistently and do the things that we call income generating activities, and was able to build to a multi-6-figure income in literally just 15 months with no prior experience in the industry, no experience in health and wellness, owning a business, etc. And it's funny because in network marketing, we always pitch people, you can do this on me time, part-time, spare time. For those of you, there are people that we say, hey, you can also do this full-time. I do it full-time. I've been doing it full-time for 9.5 years, and you can do it big time, right? But we tell them they can do it part-time, and then we give them full-time work to do. And we say, oh, well, you're never going to be successful if you're going to your kid's soccer game. Well, you're never going to be successful if you're watching your favorite sports team, etc. So I think it's important that we give people, when we tell them it's going to be part-time, that we give them a part-time schedule to do the right things that are actually going to move their business forward. Here's a news flash. You only make money 2 ways in network marketing: when a customer buys your product or service, or a distributor buys your customer product or service. End of story. There is nothing else. If you're getting paid to recruit, you're in a pyramid scheme, so you might want to rethink that company. Another fallacy real quick before we dive into some numbers is a lot of people tend to think that it takes one person to go out and do a lot of things, a lot of activities to build a big network marketing business, and that's not true. It takes a lot of people to do a little. So I'm going to teach you in just a short amount of time per week, maybe 8 to 10 hours. I'm going to show you that you have more time than you think first, that you can build a business and actually get other people involved in your business, right? Because if you're working 10 hours a week, for example, and you have 20 people on your team in 6 months working 10 hours a week, you have 200 hours a week working in your business. That is how it works. And all of a sudden, if you build a team of 100 people, now you have 10,000 hours a week, right? 1,000 hours a week. You built a team of 1,000 people, that you have 10,000 hours a week working in your business. So it's all about teaching people to do a small amount of work consistently. So let's talk really quick about the time you think you don't have, right? All right, so this is just a basic outline. There's 168 hours in everyone's week, in Bill Gates' week, in Richard Branson's week, in Donald Trump week. Like every successful entrepreneur, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, the owner of your company, everyone has 168 hours, right? So let's talk about your schedule. I think it's irresponsible to say that entrepreneurs don't sleep. You should only sleep 4 hours a night. That's so unhealthy. It's bad for your long-term health. Adults need 7 to 9 hours. So I put 8 hours here, right? Because I'm a proponent of long-term health, and sleep is healthy. So 8 hours, which is 56 hours a week, right? Right off the top. Work. Let's say you're working 40 hours a week. Boom. There's another 40 hours. Eating, I figured 3 meals a day, 20 minutes per meal. I mean, breakfast is probably going to be 10 minutes. Dinner is probably 30. Lunch, you're really only eating for 20 minutes. The other stuff, I don't know what you're doing at lunch. Maybe working or listening or, doing calls, errands, whatever. I gave you an hour a day to eat, right? And, what about family time, Tara? Well, that's going to be in a different category. Exercise, 5 hours a day is what's recommended. Of course, you might be doing more or less. That's fine. I put down here church because that's usually a pretty big priority for people. Maybe 2 hours on Sundays. I'm Catholic, that's what it would be. And if I were to do anything extracurricular like a Bible study or volunteering or whatnot, that could be 4 hours. And then family time. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's masked as different things like kids' sports, date night. But honestly, think about this. Are you even spending 4 quality hours every single day with your kids? I guess you look at getting ready for school, homework time, reading books, making sure they're doing all their stuff. 4 hours a day seems reasonable. So I gave you a little bit more than 4 hours a day, especially if you're a working parent, right? You're getting home at 5:30, your kids are probably in bed by 8. So really, are you even taking 4 hours a day? Probably not, but I gave you 4.5 hours a day. I gave you 30 hours a week, plus date night, things to do with your spouse and, extra stuff, right? So that leaves 26 hours. Now, if you work out 7 hours a week or you take long leisurely lunches, 26 hours, there's still a lot of wiggle room, because I'm going to show you a plan on the next screen that is going to show you how to build a profitable business consistently in 8 to 10 hours, right? So even if you want to watch your favorite sports team or your favorite shows or go to happy hour or do things extra above and beyond what's in this list, charity work or hobbies, softball league, whatever, you name it, it's built in there, because we have about 16-hour a week wiggle room. All right, so what are the activities, which I call the income generating activities? What are the most important? So here is my list of what I think that I do and my team do, I teach my team, is the most important activities. Exposing and inviting, right? When you get into, especially for a new person, when you get into a network marketing business, the number one thing you got to do in the beginning, you're going to make your list and all that, put down your why and your goals. You're going to start inviting. Now, I think the biggest trap is people say, well, I talked to 30 people and nobody wants to watch the webinar or come to the meeting. It's like, what did you say? Well, I told them about what we're doing. The invitation call is not a sales call. And you shouldn't be, another thing is people are worried about making that call. They're like, oh, just make a call. Say, hey, I just started a new business. And as my mom, my sister, my brother, my friend, my cousin, my neighbor, my next, my softball team member, my coworker, my whatever, I would like for you to take a look at this. I'm looking for customers. I wouldn't have joined this company if I didn't believe wholeheartedly in the products and that everyone needs them. And I'm also looking for business partners. And I'm okay if you don't want to do either, but I'm having an event this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And the cool thing is, and instead of going out of your house, you can be in your pajamas and just take 25, 30 minutes out and watch this Zoom or this webinar or this video or this live call. Would you just come listen? Because even if you're not going to be involved, maybe you can refer someone who is, because I'm going to build my business out of referrals, right? That invitation should literally not take more than 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes. I think you can do that in actually 2, because I'm watching the video and I did that in under 2 minutes. Okay, I got 30 more calls to make, because I told the person that's launching my business that I really am going to do my best to get 20 to 25 people at that event. I got a whole bunch of calls to make. Can I put you down as being there for me Thursday night at 7 on your internet or on your phone? Yes or no? Or in my living room, right? Living rooms are going to be a little bit longer. The same invitation process. Hey mom, come on over Thursday night. Hey sister, come on over Thursday night. We're going to have the presentation is going to last about 35, 45 minutes. By the way, if you're in someone's home for more than an hour, everyone's going to be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have anybody in my home for more than an hour. So very, very careful about that. We'll get to that. So 10 minutes, I think you can make 5 calls a day. If you're a rambler, you might be able to make 2 calls in 10 minutes, but 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, and at least 10 minutes over the weekend, right? I know that's a lot for some people. It's family time. 10 minutes on the weekend isn't going to disrupt your schedule. Follow up, okay? After they have watched a video, been to an event, been to a presentation, a webinar, a Zoom, a call, whatever your team's doing, and I believe you should leverage and use all of them, by the way, follow up. Hey, sister, what did you like best? Hey, you came and we haven't talked much. What did you like best? Can you see yourself being a customer of one of our products or services? Or can you see yourself referring these and to get into business with me? Yes or no? Okay, great. What is the next step? And she might say, well, I have some questions. And this is the point where you're going to go into presentations. Now, I put different times here because I think there's different levels of presentations. 15 minutes are 3-way calls. Also, one-on-ones, that's where you sit and give more information. Remember, they already saw the presentation. They already saw the tool about who you are, who your company is, the products or services, and a little bit about the business. So this should be just a little bit of information questions, right? Oh, I want to know more about the comp plan. Send it to them. I want to know more about this product. Send it to them. I want to know how this works. Send it to them, right? You shouldn't be doing that on the call because remember, you're new and you don't know much. So either you are one-on-one with them, you're on the phone with your upline, which is a 3-way call, or you're in person with your upline, which is a 2-on-1, you, your prospect, and your upline. And that is, I don't think they should be more than 15 to 30 minutes. Presentations, they can be 30 minutes. So I gave you 60 for in-home, but I'll tell you that I have a gal on my team. She just joined me 1 month ago. She's on our team, not me, she's in my team. She joined 1 month ago. Did 72 Zoom presentations. Zoom's like Skype, but it's way better if you don't know about it. Where she had prospects and she presented the information via web. She did 72 of them with 6 kids, as a single mom, 6 kids. Her very first month in our company, she made $6,400 and won a trip to for Cancun. You know, those results aren't typical, but if you do 72 presentations, you're probably going to get close to that. You might even have better, you know, somewhere in the range. And again, we don't claim to, I don't make any income claims. I'm just showing you what her story was. The amount of work you do is the amount of income you're going to make. But presentations in home, again, you should never be in a home for more than 60 minutes, start to finish. At that point, I don't even know what you're talking about. If you can't get the information out in 20 minutes about your product or service and then another 10 to 15 about your business opportunity, then I don't know what industry you're in, because I never ever talk more than 5. I tell maybe 10. I tell my story, I tell the company story, and I show a tool so that they can get the information, because again, this is about duplication. Do you want a lot of people doing these activities or a few, right? If you're doing it all and you're giving these long presentations, you're never going to have a lot of people doing what you're doing, and you're going to reduce the amount of hours per week that are working in your team. So let's say 2 hours and then like an optional half an hour for 3-way calls. And I put another 60 minutes just in there, 2 to 3.5 hours on getting information to the people via, again, phone, Zoom, Skype, webinar, calls, or in-person meetings. And then follow up, you know. Again, you guys shouldn't be on these calls for more than 2 to 5 minutes. Hey, you were there, what do you think? Okay, what's our next step? Or when you get started, okay, send your link, right? Or invite them to another thing. Or if they ask you a specific question, get them the answer. Remember, following up, as you guys know on episode 3, is a series of contacts that people who are interested, getting them the information they need to make a decision, right? So follow up, a text, a call. Again, go through episode 3 to see the best practices. Personal development, right? This is what took me from a 6-figure income to a 7-figure income when I increased my knowledge, my skill. Some of you guys have seen my library. I read every day. It's part of my plan. If I don't read for 3 or 4 days, I'll read 40 or 50 pages. And I don't do minutes, I do pages, but I'm just trying to say the working person. I'm also full-time in this industry, but the working person, the brand new person, 10 minutes a day, you guys, just 10 minutes a day. If you're an average reader, that's about 10 pages a day. Will give you 12 books a year. I think the large majority of people don't even read 1 book after high school. So, and the average CEO reads, I don't know, 20 or 30 books a year. And the average CEO makes about 300 times more than the average American. The average CEO income is about 1.5 million a year, whereas the average income of the average person here, actually dual income household, is 50,000 a year. And what's the difference? They're filling their brain, they're upping their skill set, they're giving themselves an edge, right? Reading is the most important thing you can do in a long-term basis, other than these income generating activities. The reading and the personal development will give you the mindset to withstand all the rejection, the failure, the ridicule, people quitting on you, when you feel like not doing it, when you feel defeated. It'll make you resilient. It'll make you understand that, the mindset of an entrepreneur is different than the mindset that you've had all your life. So personal development, 10 a day, right? If you want to immerse yourself into it, some days I'll knock out 120 pages in a book or a whole book, right? I love it though. I love learning new ways, and also increasing your value as a leader by filling your tool belt will increase, the amount of people who would want to work with you, right? Team calls, 1 team call, 30 minutes. Our team call is 30 minutes. It's every Monday. It's recap, it's information, news updates, it's 1 news story for 5 to 7 minutes, and a 15-minute mindset training. You should not be drowning yourself with these calls and opening the month and closing the month and running the month and corporate updates and this leader and this leader. 1 team call. Jeez, just 1 team call. Figure out which team call you like best, because sometimes you have multiple people in your upline, but work with your team. 1 team call. Miscellaneous education. This is knowing your company's comp plan, knowing your products, knowing about the industry. One of the things I did when I got involved was when I turned off my TV, I filled it with education. Like I was in my first company, which is no longer in business. It was an antioxidant drink. So I wanted to know what an antioxidant was and a free radical was. And I wanted to know, what these fruits were. And, I wanted to know about the industry. I printed out the comp plan and I knew it top to bottom, back to forward. I had to understand it because I wanted to be able to explain it to other people because they were going to join me and I had to answer their questions. So up your education. I think if you, on an ongoing basis, 10 minutes a day, I would recommend when you're first getting started, for your first month, I would say do as much as you can. Literally, I turned off my TV, guys. It was off for 6 or 7 years. I'm not gonna say I don't watch any TV anymore. Game of Thrones, rocks my world, right? I watch a little Netflix here and there, usually at the very end of my night, if I've done all the other things that I wanna do, but that's still rarely, like maybe 3 nights a week, an hour. So instead of watching 27 hours of TV, like the average American, I might be watching 3 to 5 on a heavy week, right? So miscellaneous education and social media. This has been very important. You don't have to be a social media expert. There's a lot of social media training out there. This is just a way for you to, the 3 things I would do on social media every day: build your list, keep going and finding friends of friends, people in your community, people in your list, and just finding, if you see someone and they're like, I would love to do business with them, add them and just watch them and learn from them. People who are positive, people who have a good mindset, people who are already successful, people who are in like-minded industry, add to your list every day. I maxed out at 5,000 years ago. And another thing is education, right? Don't be selling all the time. Don't be selling. Education, inspiration, maybe entertainment, funny stuff, a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of business, a little bit of research, a little bit of funny. Like, make it somewhere, like, would you want to go to your page every day? And the third thing is just post just once or twice a day, maybe 3 times a day. And there you can Google and when are the best times to post. Maybe in the morning, maybe before you get to work 10 seconds earlier and post something. Maybe at lunchtime, maybe at night, and share stories, share inspiration, and just mix it up. And again, there's a lot of trainings on social media. But 10 minutes a day should help you to start growing that social media, because I'll tell you, I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in income from the people that I have attracted through social media organically, right? Value. I know Gary Vaynerchuk has a really good book. I think it's called Jab, Jab, Right Hook or something. It's basically like give. Hey, sell them, right? Give, sell. Give, sell. Give, sell. So this is, if you add it all up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5 on the low end, 3.5, 9 on the high end. This is 7.5 to 9 hours. Now, do you want to be a rock star? Do you want to go faster? Really feel like, okay, well, given the chart before, I really feel like I've got at least 15 minutes to build my business. 15 hours. Okay, great. Well, what I would recommend is increasing exposing and inviting, presenting, because that's where you make money, when people make a decision about buying product or services or becoming a distributor and buying product or services, that's where you make money. That's the only place you make money. I would increase this one. I would double or triple this one, depending on, so if you double it, that's another hour. So let's say you have 15 hours, I would triple this one. I would triple the follow-up. Follow-up, actually, the more people you have in the funnel, your funnel goes like this: people in, get them through information, more information, and come out the bottom as a decision, yes or no. Yes or no is good. Maybe not so good. Ask people for a decision. Look, you've been looking at this, you're saying you're interested. Are you interested in making a decision now? Would you like me to follow up with you in 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, whatever? But don't waste your time on fence sitters. Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill said if someone can't make a quick decision, they're probably not going to see the project out, because people who have informed decisions make them quick, and that's the person you want. I would definitely up-level your personal development, highly up-level it. I would immerse yourself in education and social media. So even if you doubled, that is seriously only 11 to 14 hours a week. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I wanted you to see that as long as you're doing activities that are going to move your business forward consistently, that you can have success no matter how hectic your schedule is. And if someday, Tuesday obviously is the worst day and you're from sun up to sundown and it's family day and kids got soccer and basketball and baseball and Boy Scouts and all this stuff, and you know that you don't have time to do these things, right? This is, like an hour. It could be, 50 minutes to 2 hours in that day. Then put it on another day that's lighter. You know your schedule. What happens is I look at my schedule as like a pit of quicksand. If I don't fill it with infrastructure, it caves in on me and it gets filled with everyone else's garbage. Team stuff, my family stuff, drama in my life. It's crazy. Like if I don't fill my schedule and I don't block out time, like literally there was times I have to put on working out on my schedule or I wouldn't do it and I would just, I don't have time. Oh, I do have time. You do have time. And you cannot save time. It's your most precious commodity. You cannot save time, but you can spend it better. You can invest wisely. We all have the same amount of time, and there are billionaires who did incredible things with the same exact amount of hours that you have. So I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you again for joining in our Lunch and Learn. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube so that you never miss an episode again. And again, I thank you guys for all of you who put up with the horrible technical difficulties. And I will see you in episode 5. Thanks, guys, and have a wonderful day.